Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Detroit Tigers, now Austin Prospects, and we're here as usual in the first regular season episode of the 2027 season, and we're currently 33-30, 5.5 out of the division lead, which the Twins have. But we are, of course, right in the mix for the wild card, only a game out. So playoff chances definitely very well and alive. Now, actually going to go ahead and take a look at the kind of our expected win-loss, which I actually haven't taken a look at so far this season. And, alright, so we're only one behind. So, I mean, right around. I expect our team performance to pretty much be in line with our record, and now we're going to go over or maybe not so quickly go over our team performance before we get into the not the Rule 5 draft, the first year player draft, which is today. Now, looking at kind of the first position catchers that we actually have 3 catchers up in the bigs right now, and that's basically because of an injury, which I will get to in a second. But yeah, Corey Collins, Siegler, Turner have all been up in the bigs, and they all have been very good. Collins and Turner have really high BABIPs at the moment. So, of course, those will not stay that way, but they have been performing extremely well. And, of course, those numbers will go down as their BABIP kind of comes back down to earth. But still, very, very good performances. I mean, they're both good offensive catchers, or good offensive players in general, I should mention. And Turner is actually a very good pitch framer, which is a very useful thing to have on the team. And then looking at first base, Ian Happ has been a absolutely fantastic get for us this season. He's been worth about a win so far. His BABIP a little high, but his OPS above league average. I mean, 274, 348, 457, slash line, very good. OPS just above 800. He's been having a great season for us this year, and Blaze Jordan has actually also been pretty good. Not pretty good. He's been okay, is really what I should say. He's been hitting slightly above league average, not quite as good as Happ, but has been a decent piece for us, in that right-handed, left-handed platoon with Happ and Jordan. Jordan getting these starts against lefties, Happ against righties, so he's been good. Our second base duo of Bowser and Freeman have been ridiculous this year. Bowser and Freeman both just on-base machines. Bowser's been better than Freeman this year by a little bit. That BABIP is high, so when that comes down a little bit, his numbers probably will come down as well, but he's been very good for us so far this season. Now we get into a very shaky kind of part of our team. So as you'll notice here, we have Jordan Walker, who is playing shortstop at the moment. He's also not having a very good offensive season at the moment, but that is because C.J. Abrams, who kind of was penciled in as our everyday shortstop this year, got hurt, and also pretty much all of our depth options got hurt pretty much at the same time. So like Wencel Perez, Ryan Ritter, pretty much all of those guys also went down at the same time. So we really didn't have many options. So Bogarts, who was DHing, now he's kind of being forced to play a little bit of third base, which I thought would be fine. But his third base rating actually is not good at all for whatever reason. Even though he has a good air rating and good arm, his range is down, but his third base rating just won't progress. So he's been awful defensively at third base, and Walker's been pretty awful defensively for us at shortstop. Actually, not nearly as awful as Bogarts has been at third base, but still he has not been great. So and Abrams he's done for the season. He's or maybe not done for the season, but he ruptured his Achilles tendon. He's out for 3 more months. So I mean, shortstop is definitely going to be something that we're going to be upgrading. We need to find a real shortstop. This has been killing us, basically this whole series, was we haven't had a real shortstop. Throughout this entire save, pretty much. We had Almeida, who's a defensive guy. And that's pretty much it. So, we need to find a real shortstop. That is a huge hole in our team, because, we need to allow Bogarts to... Well, see, that's another thing, because Bowser has actually been filling the DH role, and Freeman has been playing second, and both of them have been way better than Bogarts offensively. So Bogarts just might be the odd man out when we trade for a shortstop. So... he could be the guy who goes down, other injuries could happen, so, we'll have to see, but Bogarts definitely is more of a DH than anything. Paolini has been the best player on our team by far this season. He's worth about 2 wins. Still playing. Not the greatest defense, but I mean, he is a stud, absolute stud offensively. 300, 387, 582 /9. He's really come into his own. These past 2 seasons, he's just a monster, and we're definitely very, very happy to have him. And now Joseph Rutten, he's been pretty bad with the bat, but obviously he's just kind of a Rule 5 guy that we have, just getting bench ABs at center field. I really like his potential ratings, and he's great defensively. So he's just more of a developmental beast, and if he just survives the season with us, that's really all I'm looking for. Hopefully his ratings improve, but I'm not too concerned, and think that eventually he'll be a good guy for us to have. Cesar Sanchez, he's been pretty decent as a center fielder for us. I mean, he's mainly defensive first guy. I mean, crazy defensive ratings there. Been a plus guy in center field for us this year, and at the plate he hasn't been a total liability actually. I mean, he's about league average in OPS plus. He's hitting for a decent bit of power, not really getting on base a ton, but he's been really fine for us. And then Basabe, he has been better than he was last year already, so it's good to see that kind of improvement from him. He's been a little bit above league average offensively, so he's been fine, although definitely considering a long-term upgrade with him maybe in the future. Now heading over to the pitching side of things, I actually really haven't paid attention too much to pitching so far this year, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look. Really, pitching has been pretty decent for us so far. Looks like Benitez, Paulino, Robson have all been pretty bad for us so far this season. But after that, I mean, you can see it drops down. Sorting by FIP, at least drops down a little bit here. Wentz, kind of continuing to be that just innings eater guy. Been much better than his year last year, which is probably a career worst for him. Montoya also has not been great. Severino hasn't been good, or not fantastic as our lefty out of the pen. Then here, kind of some maybe disappointing starters. I'm just, maybe kind of disappointed in this season Rocker's having. His FIP is a little high. Definitely wanted to see that FIP in the 3s from him. But Flores has been pretty good for us. I've been pleasantly surprised with his season. And then Loizega, low 4 FIP guy. Definitely fine with that kind of season from him. Mackenzie Gore, high FIP in the high 3s. I don't think he's striking out as many guys as he has in the past, which is probably why that's down a little bit, but I mean, that's still fine for him. Then we have a cluster of kind of relievers here who have been dynamite for us. Andrew Vasquez, who missed a lot at the end of the year last year, he's been very good for us so far in the season. Jimenez has also been very good, of course. And then Ronnie Garcia, who kind of has gotten extended looks in the past few years, mainly as a starter last year, but out of the bullpen this year, he's kind of a righty specialist. He's been pretty effective with that low 3 FIP, so that's kind of interesting. Him being utilized as primarily righty specialist has been very good for his numbers this year, so hopefully he can kind of, continue to be that kind of guy, and maybe, in the playoffs, he could be a very effective guy, that we rely on to get important righty outs. So with all of the recapping said, we're going to be getting into the draft here, and we have the 15th pick in the first round after our kind of meddling season last year. So hopefully we could get a pretty good player with our first round pick this year. We haven't had the highest of picks of recent occasions. We've been usually pretty decent to them in like the later half of the recent draft. So maybe we could get someone good here. Just looking here, mainly starters available here. Looks Kyler Thibodeau. Not too keen on his ratings here. Looks like a lot of just okay pitches, not great stuff. Yeah, definitely gonna see what else is out here. Mike Velasquez doesn't look like anything too great. Bill Castone doesn't look too great. I mean, I'm not too impressed. Ooh, Chris Solomon, this catcher. This high school catcher looks a bit interesting. I really like his hitting ratings. Looks like he's going to be a very high discipline kind of guy. Yeah, that does not look too bad at all. He might be he definitely is gonna be a guy who we get to give some consideration to. That guy's a no. So is he. There's not really much that's too interesting here, I don't think. So I think I think Thibodeau might be, not Thibodeau. What's his name? Whatever that catcher was, might be who we go with here. And I think, and honestly, is not too keen on any of these guys here. So Chris Solomon's gonna be who we go with in the first round. And then here, next round, Sam Moses. He looks like a decent outfielder there. He could be an interesting guy to get. Manny Diaz, if his air and arm were so weak, he could be a fantastic shortstop, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Ron LaRue. Oh, I definitely like his ratings. More than Moses's. I'm at that. Greg Lawrence is also interesting, but I think I'm definitely going to go with LaRue. Moses isn't bad, but I do like his ratings just a bit better. Now let's see, Moses is still available, and we're going to go ahead and take him. So pretty position player heavy so far in the draft. Ooh, and I like, this Steve Marcus profiles really well as a hitter. And if we could get him to play a different position, he could be super interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and grab him. Then we kind of reached the end of the guaranteed guys. There's a Joey Peterson guy. Possible DH maybe. Although these are kind of all the guys who probably aren't going to sign. J. Stevens. A couple of 2.5-star guys here that might be interesting. Okay, that was J. Stevens. But I'm not really interested in any of those guys anymore. So we're going to go ahead and end the draft. I was going to end this video with kind of going over our international amateurs, since I kind of went over all the statistics quite quickly because our team's been kind of humming along of recent. Actually, we've even gotten into first place with a 49-39 record of recent. But again, there are just no good international amateurs. I'm sorting my batters here, maybe pitchers. No, and all players, it doesn't get any better. So there's just absolutely nobody here that's kind of worth consideration. So we're not going to go ahead and be sending in any of those guys. So kind of really nothing to update there that I was going to update with. And we've been playing well of recent, as you can see, over the last month. I'm 2 games ahead. And then the only really thing that I guess I'll show now, since I was going to kind of end with international amateurs, is that Tyler Freeman, he went down, and looks like Ian Happ as well. He's a kind of minimal effect injury. I think we'll let him play through that for now, maybe. But yeah, Tyler Freeman, he went down, so not too much to read into there. Bowser, he's going to go ahead and just take over the everyday second base duties then. He was DHing. Wow, Blaze Jordan has really fallen off kind of from his stats even earlier in the season. And yeah, yikes, he's been a negative so far. Then Corey Collins, he's going to go ahead and slide into the DH spot, which I feel, very comfortable with. He's been fantastic at the plate. Of course, that's really what he's known for, as he's not really a defensive catcher, so he's sliding in the DH now. And I'm forcing him to play there because it was playing like Joseph Rutten in there, who obviously don't want to put a defense first center fielder and DH. So yeah, we're setting Collins up there. And then the guy who we called up was actually Carlos Perez, who's absolutely mashing in AAA. You can see his line there, 302, 316, 651. So obviously we had to call him up. And some of our shortstop options are available now. But we've been winning like this, and our team's pretty much, it looks like the stalwart of our team is going to be, not fantastic defense, at least infield defense at second and not second, shortstop and third, but pretty good defense everywhere else, and then just absolutely mashing, which is kind of what we've been doing, and then good pitching as well. So yeah, I mean, this is what our team's going to look like for the foreseeable future until we make a trade for a shortstop, which we definitely will. Bogarts offensively, he's been better, which is good to see. Yeah, he's been better. I'm sure his defense is kind of dragging down his overall value, and which is why his WAR's not good. Yeah, that's definitely why his WAR's not really good at this point. But yeah. So I mean, the team's pretty is being pretty good right now. So I'm not too concerned really about anything else. So that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video, I think. So thank you guys for watching, and do not forget to like, subscribe, show your support for the channel, and I'll see you guys next episode.